You can draw this in Procreate. You can draw this amazing pixel art in Procreate. I will guide you through all the steps of creating this pixel art. I'll show you how you can use a grid, how to use the pixel art brush. I'll show you how you can create dark outlines in an instant. And of course, I will show you how you can export your pixel art from Procreate. Because that way you will be able to share it, of course. And if you're sharing it on Instagram, then don't forget to tag me in the image, not just in the description. Because that way I will be able to find your work, which I really love, and then maybe we will see it in the next video. Just like these fantastic results from my friends at Patreon, that's the place you need to go if you have a Procreate tutorial addiction, because I have more than 150 tutorials there, including this brand new pixel art tutorial. So if you can't get enough of creating pixel art in Procreate, then go to my Patreon page for even more pixel art fun. Now for this tutorial, we will be working on a very small canvas. It needs to be 100 pixels by 100 pixels, and of course I have linked a free color palette in the description. And now, if you're ready, let's get started. The first thing we'll do is turn on our drawing guide. We'll go to the wrench, then to canvas, then turn on drawing guide, and then tap edit drawing guide. And then here at the bottom, turn down the grid size until it's at 0 pixels. Of course, you can also change the opacity of the lines. You can turn up the thickness if you like, or change the color here at the top, and then you can just tap done. And now let's just drop in a color for our background. We'll use the second color in the first row. Let's just drag it in there, and then let's make a new layer for our grass. We'll tap the plus, and for our color we will use this one over here, fifth color in the first row. And for our brush, during this tutorial, we will only be using the pixel brush. It's part of my free Procreate treasure chest brush pack. And if you don't already have it, then go to freefromflow.com to get it. It's totally free and it's full of awesome brushes. And I'll just make a line over here. It doesn't have to be perfectly straight. And then drag in the color underneath. Then we will tap the plus in our layer menu for a new layer, and then we'll start with the head of our fox. For the color, we will grab this one over here, fourth color in the second row. And now let's start with the face for our fox. Let's make a new layer on top of this one by tapping the plus. And then for the color, we will grab this one over here, fourth color in the second row. And let's create the face about here. And then I'll just zoom in. And in this case, let's do some counting. We won't do this for all the elements in our pixel art illustration, but I think it would be nice to have a little guide for our fox. Now first we'll make horizontal blocks. We'll make 14. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. And over here we'll go down. Here we'll go down 1, then 2, to the left. Then we'll go down here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then here we'll go down 2. Then 7 over here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And 7 again. A bit to the left, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 2 to the right. 1 to the right. Then 3. And then for this area, let's go down from this one. 1 from the right, make a line going down, 2 here, just 1 below, and then attach this. Then we can make this a little bit thicker before we drag in the color here. And then let's continue to the right. Here we'll go 3 to the right, then up here 3 to the right again, and 3 to the right again, then 2, and then 1, then up 7. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 2 up, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1 to the side, and then 2 up. Let's make this a little bit thicker so our paint won't spill, and then drag in the color. Now this is a perfect time to make a screenshot in case you want to create a perfect match, a perfect copy. So yeah, feel free to do that. Now let's make a new layer underneath this one. We'll tab layer 2, then tab the plus, and now we'll work on the ears. Let's start with the one on the right. First we'll make a block here, then we'll go up 3 here, then 1, 2, 3, 4, then 1 to the side, 2 up, then 1, 2, 3, and 3 here, 2 here, then here we'll go down 3, and here we'll go down 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, then we'll go down 2, 1 to the left, then 2 down, and then we'll make a diagonal line like this, and then we'll go to the left and connect it here. Then we need to close our shape and make this edge a little bit thicker so we can drag in the color, and now we can move on to the other ear. We'll start with this block over here. So that's the second from the left. Then we'll go up 2 here, then 3, then 1, 2 to the left, or actually 3, then 1 up. Then over here we'll go 5 to the left. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, down 1. Then we'll go down 3, 1, 2, 3, then to the left, 1, 2, 3, back to the right, 1, 2, 3, 2 down here, and 1, then 2, then 1. Then make sure to close the shape, make that edge a little bit thicker, and then drag in the color. Then for the body, we'll create that on this layer too. We'll start over here. So that's the third block from the left. And then we'll go down 10. So that's 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. And then over here, we'll go down 16. So that's 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16. Then we'll go to the right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Up a little bit. 1, 2, 3, 4. And here we'll have 6 again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Up here. Then 2 here. And 1 here. And here we'll have 6 again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We'll go 2 up here. 1, 2. Here we'll go up 8, 2, 4, 6, 8, 4 over here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 2 here, 1, 2, 1 up, 2 up. Then over here we'll add a little pixel, then 2 to the right, and then we'll go down, and then here we'll just attach these parts. So you get a shape like this. Make sure to give it a nice thick edge before you drag in the color, like this. And again, you can make a screenshot if you want to use that as a reference. And now for the other body parts, I think we can just eyeball it. And let's make a new layer for the white fur on its chest. Let's make a new layer on top of this one. So tap the plus. And then for the color, grab this one. That's the 7th color in the 2nd row. And let's create a shape like this. Downward here. And then back up. Close the shape. And fill it. And in case it needs a little bit of sculpting, then you can just tap and hold the eraser to make it switch to the pixel art brush. And then you can cut parts off in case you need to, or go back to the brush and paint it back in. I'll go for something like this. Then for the tail, we need another new layer. We'll make that underneath the body layer. So first tap the grass layer, then tap the plus, and then grab this color again, 4th color in the 2nd row. And let's make a tail shape. And the height, the top will be about at cheek height. Then downward, back to the left. Make sure to close the shape and then drag in the color. Now, when I look at our fox, I do see that our fox is a little bit too far to the right, so we need to move it. To do that, we need to select the layers of the fox, so slide to the right on each of the layers, then go to the Move and Transform tool, that's the little arrow, and when you tap, your fox will move with 1 pixel at a time. And I want it to be pretty much in the center and not too high, so let's move it downward a little bit, maybe slightly to the right. I think something like this is perfect. Now let's go back to the layer menu, tap the layer with the tail, then tap the plus for a new layer on top, and we'll set that layer to clipping mask. So whatever we draw here, it'll only show up on the tail. For the color, we will grab the white, that's the 7th color in the 2nd row, and we'll add a white pointy part, a white tip to our tail. Something like this. I also want to add some white to the face, so let's go to this layer. We again need a new layer on top, so let's tap the plus and set this to clipping mask as well. And then let's dive in here. We'll start here, and then we'll go to the right 2 here, then upward like this, then to the right, then up 3 here. Then we'll have 4 over here. Then we'll go in this direction. Then 4 blocks here. 1 up here. Then we'll have 4 again over here. Then we'll go back to the left. 2 down here. 2 again. 1. And then 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2. 2 to the right, then 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 3 up here, 1 over here, then 3, go down, then 3 down here, and then we'll go like this, and then we'll close the shape. We'll have a nice white spot on the face of our fox. Make the edge nice and thick, and then drag in the color. Then let's add the eyes. We'll make a new layer for that, so let's tap the plus, and then for the color we will grab this one over here, 10th color in the 1st row. We'll start over here. We'll make 5 blocks, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then over here we'll also make 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1 to the left, then 4 over here, and then a line here. And then we can just fill this. Then we'll go to the left for the other eye. We'll start here, make a line going down, then another line here, another one, and this one will go a little bit lower. So like this. Next we'll grab a different color. We'll grab this one, 2nd color in the 3rd row. Then we'll add color over here, so that's 1, 2, 3 up, and then 1 to the side. Then we'll go here, 1, 2, 3, 1 up, and to the side, and 4 over here. Then we'll switch back to the white. That's the 7th color in the 2nd row. Over here we'll make a white square, and over here as well. So you can see that we need to keep it really simple for our pixel art. Now for the nose and the mouth. You know what? We can actually put that on the same layer. Let's go back to that dark color again, 10th color in the 1st row. Let's add 4 blocks here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 2 over here. We'll go back in this direction, and then we'll create a shape like this. Then we'll add 3 blocks here, 2 here, go down 1, then 3 here, and 1 here. Then for the next color, we will use the 1st color in the 3rd row, and we will add some pink to the mouth. And then for the nose, we will add 2 colors. We'll start with this one, 3rd color in the 3rd row. We'll add a line over here, and then we'll use this color, 4th color in the 3rd row for this line. So our fox has a face. Let's continue and add some shading to our pixel art. Let's start with the face. Let's start with this layer. We are going to tap it and turn on alpha lock. And then we'll switch to this color, 5th color in the 2nd row. And we'll go along the side of the face like this to add some darker pixels, to add a little bit of shadow there. Then we'll switch to this color. That's the 6th color in the 2nd row. It's slightly darker. And then we'll add even more of that shadow. We'll also add some light. We'll do that with this color, 3rd color in the 2nd row. And let's add that to the opposite side on the top left to add a little bit of highlight. Then let's switch to the white on the face. That's this layer 8. Let's tap it and turn on alpha lock. Then we'll switch to this color, 8th color in the 2nd row. And on the bottom of the face, we'll add a little bit of shadow and we'll attach it to that shadow area on, well, the orange area. Then we'll switch to this color, 9th color in the 2nd row, and add an even darker shadow underneath. Next, I want to add a dark outline to the face. And an easy way to do that is by duplicating this layer. Let's slide to the left and tap duplicate. And actually we can merge these layers by now. The eyes with the mouth and the white part. Let's just merge those. Then on this layer, we are going to grab a different color, 10th color in the 1st row. Then we will go back to the layer, tap it, and use fill layer. Do make sure that alpha lock is turned on, otherwise your entire layer will be a dark brown. Now we are going to move this layer. We'll go to the Move and Transform tool and then tap below that box one time to move it downward. Then we'll duplicate this layer, slide to the left, tap duplicate, then go back to the Move and Transform tool and tap up twice. Then we will go back, duplicate this one. Go to the Move and Transform tool. First, move it downward once, and then move to the left. And then duplicate this one. Go back to the Move and Transform tool and move this to the right twice. And then you can merge these together and you have a nice dark outline. Now let's add some more shading. Let's go to this layer. Layer 4, let's turn on alpha lock. And then let's first grab this color, 5th color in the 2nd row, and add some shading on the ears here. So a little pointy part in the center, and then some shadow on the side. A little bit of shadow here, underneath that white fur, and over here. These are the legs. And around here. Now let's move to the darker color. That's the 6th color in the 2nd row. And add some darker shadow too. Like over here. In between these legs as well. I also want to add a darker color to the tips of the ears. We'll use this color for that. 10th color in the 2nd row. And let's just color this part. And over here as well. Then next, let's shade this part of the fur. Let's tap the layer, turn on alpha lock. Then first we'll switch to this color again, 8th color in the 2nd row. And then we'll add a little bit of shadow underneath the chin and here at the bottom. Then we'll switch to the 9th color in the 2nd row and add a bit of a darker shadow, just a little bit. And then let's repeat that outline step. First for this layer, duplicate it by sliding to the left and tapping duplicate, then go to the bottom one, then grab the 10th color in the 1st row, then back to the layer, tap it, and use fill layer. Then go to the Move and Transform tool, move it downward once, then duplicate it. Then we'll go back to the Move and Transform tool and move this up. Then back, duplicate it again, go to the Move and Transform tool, first move it downward once, and to the left, then duplicate this, go back to the Move and Transform tool, and move it to the right twice. And then merge these layers. Now we will just repeat the steps for this layer. So once you've done that, it'll look like this. Then let's move to the tail. Let's go to this layer first. Let's tap it, turn on alpha lock. Then we will switch to this color first, 5th color in the 2nd row. And we'll add a nice little shadow here. Then we'll switch to the darker color, 6th color in the 2nd row. And add even more shadow here. Then let's move to the white area, tap it, turn on alpha lock. Then we will switch to this color, 8th color in the 2nd row, and add a shadow here. And then for the darker shadow, the 9th color, we'll go over this area. Then for the tail, we need to merge these 2 layers first before we add the outline. So let's pinch these together, then duplicate it. Then on this bottom layer, we need to grab the 10th color in the 1st row again. Then tap the layer, use fill layer, and then repeat the steps we did before so you get this. Next, I just want to add some extra dark lines to our character. Let's do that on a layer on top. So let's first tap this layer, then tap the plus. And then I would like to add a little dark line here with these downward lines, and on this side as well. Then I'd like to go over the legs. I'd like to add a line here and here, and a line here for that leg. I'd also like to add some thickness to the outline of that fur patch here. A little bit over here. I'd also like to thicken this just to emphasize some parts and to add a little bit of variety to the weight of the outlines. Also over here and underneath these paws, I want a thick like shadow line. Can also add some volume underneath the tail. Perhaps a little bit underneath the cheek. I think this looks good. Maybe add a little bit to this area to our shadow. Yeah, I think this looks good. Now that we have our fox, let's work on the surroundings. Once you're happy with your fox, you can actually merge all these layers together. And now let's get started with the background. I want to add some trees. Let's tap this layer first, then tap the plus. And then for the color, let's grab this one over here. First color in the 2nd row. And we are going to add some trees. Let's just make a line going up and down here. Close that shape. Drag in the color. Let's make it a bit more straight. Let's also add one over here. And over here. Make sure to fill those gaps. Make them a bit more straight, and then we'll add some branches. Very simple, like stumps along that trunk. You can keep it really simple. So just something like this. And I'm making sure to keep space around our fox. I don't want any of the branches to pinch our little fox. You need some space. So just some branches like this. And then to add some color variety here, we are going to turn on alpha lock on this layer. Now, besides tapping the layer and tapping alpha lock, you can also slide to the right with 2 fingers to turn it on. You will know it's turned on when you see that checkerboard pattern. Now let's switch to the 2nd color in the 2nd row. And let's just go over the outer edges here on the left and the right, darkening that up, and also add a few of these lines to get that suggestion of barky texture. Just roughly go over there and over here as well, just for some simple texture. Then I want a dark outline for our trees, so we need to duplicate the layer by sliding to the left, tapping duplicate, then tap the bottom layer, switch to the 10th color in the first row, tap the layer again, and use fill layer. Then we'll repeat those outline steps again. What you can also do is just duplicate this layer until you have 4. And then start with the bottom one, go to the move and transform tool, move this one down, then go to the next one, go to the move and transform tool, move this one up, then the next one, go to the move and transform tool, move it to the left, and then the next one, go to the move and transform tool and move it to the right. And then you have a nice little outline, and you can pinch these together. You can actually pinch them all together, all the tree layers. Then let's add some more to the background. Let's tap this layer again, tap the plus, then for the color, grab this one over here, 3rd color in the first row. And I just want to create some of these pointy shapes. These are like trees in the far distance. So just make a shape like that and then drag in the color. Then we'll make another layer. So we'll tap the plus. We'll switch to the next color, the 4th color in the first row. And then we'll make some more trees. And just make a line like this and then zigzag down to create some very simple pine trees. Over here as well. Zigzag down. To create a very simple shape, and make sure that you don't have any of those little gaps on the inside. Maybe create a little bit over here, fill that space up, and a little bit over here. So we have some nice layers of trees in our background. Let's also add some lighter spots. Let's use this color for that. 1st color in the first row, and then we'll add some lighter parts. It's like some little clouds like this. Next, let's make a layer on top of our grass layer. Let's tap the plus. Then for our color, let's grab this one, 7th color in the first row. And then let's just draw some grass like this along that horizon line, covering the trees. So just like this, maybe downward a bit here. Now let's add some lighter color. This one over here, 6th color in the first row. And let's just add some random dabs over here as well. And now let's switch to a darker color. This one, the 8th color in the first row. And I'll use that for some of these lines. Some vertical lines. To give that idea of very basic grass. Then for some more color, let's go to this layer, then tap the plus, and then we'll start with this color over here. That's the 6th color in the first row. And we'll just make a wiggly line like this. Then drag in the color. Then make a new layer on top of this by tapping the plus, and then we'll move to the darker color. This one, 7th color in the first row. And we'll make another line. Like this, drag in the color. Then make a new layer on top by tapping the plus, and then we'll switch to this color, 9th color in the first row. And we'll add a dark foreground. Wiggly line like this, and then drag in the color. Then let's add some mushrooms, but first let's pinch these together and then tap the plus on top of this layer. And then let's grab this color, fifth color in the second row. And over here, I'd like to add a little mushroom. So just a shape like this, maybe a little bit bigger, something like this. Then let's turn on alpha lock on this layer. Then we'll add a little shadow with this color, sixth color in the second row. Go over the underside. Then let's add a little bit of light with this color, fourth color in the second row, and add that to the top here. Then let's give it an outline. So let's duplicate this layer, go to the bottom one, switch to the 10th color in the first row, then go back to the layer, use fill layer, and then we'll use our little layer trick until you have this. Now we'll duplicate these two. Let's pinch these together. We'll slide to the left, tap duplicate. Then we'll go to the move and transform tool and move this one downward and to the right. Then let's duplicate it again. Slide to the left, tap duplicate, go to the move and transform tool and move this one over here. And tap the arrow. Now we need some little stems. Let's first pinch these together. Then make a layer underneath, tap the plus. For the color, we'll grab this one, first color in the second row. And then we'll just add these very simple stems. Now let's also add some smaller mushrooms. Let's pinch these together and then tap the plus for a new layer. Grab this color again, fifth color in the second row. And I want to add some smaller ones with a variety of shapes. Well, they look pretty much the same. There's this small variety. Then we will tap this layer, turn on alpha lock, add some shadow and highlight by using the sixth color in the second row for the shadow on the lower right area. Then for the highlight, we'll use the fourth color in the second row. And then we need to duplicate this again, go to the bottom one, give it that dark color, 10th color in the first row, tap the layer, use fill layer, and then use that little outline trick again. Let me just repeat it one more time. First, we'll duplicate this layer, so we'll have 4. Then go to the bottom one over here, go to the move and transform tool, move this one down, go to the next one, move that one up, then to the next one, we'll move that to the left, and then the next one, we'll move that to the right. And then we have a nice outline. Let's pinch all of these together. And now finally, let's add some shadow on our grass. Let's go to this layer again. Then let's grab this color, 8th color in the first row. Let's add some more shadow underneath our fox, underneath these mushrooms, underneath this one, and underneath these. And maybe we can add some more variety by using this color, 9th color in the first row, for a few little dark dabs. Maybe also some light ones. Let's grab this color, 2nd color in the first row. Maybe there are some little flowers, or maybe there are just some light hairs from the fox lying on the ground. I don't know. But it adds some nice variety. And then once you have your pixel art, of course, you can turn off your drawing guide. You can go to the wrench, then turn off your drawing guide. But what you would like most of all, of course, is be able to share your pixel art. If you would export it just like it is now, it would turn out to look very blurry because it has very few pixels. So what I'd like to do is first just duplicate my entire project. So you will always have a backup. Then let's just pinch all these layers together. I'm happy with our results, so I'll pinch them together. And then we need to make our canvas bigger. We'll go to the wrench, then to canvas, and then to crop and resize. Then go to settings, make sure that resample canvas is turned off, And then let's first make a canvas that is 1000 by 1000 pixels. That's already a lot bigger than it is now. Then let's tap done. Now we have a very big canvas and our very small pixel art. Then we need to go to the Move and Transform tool, set it to uniform, and then over here, make sure you have the interpolation set to nearest neighbor. Then let's also turn on snapping here. And then let's drag this handle and fill your canvas. I know it looks blurry right now, but once you tap the arrow, all is fine. Now you can make it even bigger. You can go to the wrench, then to crop and resize, go to settings, and for instance, go for something like 2500 by 2500 or even bigger, whatever you like. Tap done. Then again, go to the Move and Transform tool, use the handle, and then tap the arrow, and now you have a big file with your pixel art. And it'll look great when you share it on social media. So don't forget to do that. I hope you have enjoyed following this tutorial. If you did, then you might like to turn it into a streak and follow this tutorial next. And then I will see you next time for the next tutorial. Thank you for watching.